Welcome back to Talk Tickers, where we break down these earnings calls so you don't have to.
That's right.
And today, we're diving deep into the world of high-end adventure travel
Really fascinating one.
with Limblad Expeditions Q3 2024 earnings call transcript.
Yeah.
We've got record revenue, new ships, a fascinating partnership,
Yeah.
and
Maybe even
maybe
a trade idea brewing.
yeah.
So joining me as always is the expert navigator of all things finance.
That's me.
What jumped out at you from this call?
Well, what's fascinating is Limblad is thriving
Yeah.
in an environment where a lot of travel companies are struggling.
Right.
Their premium pricing strategy is working,
Yeah.
even with competitors offering discounts, and they're doubling down on growth.
Okay, let's unpack that. So for those unfamiliar,
Yeah.
Limblad Expeditions, ticker symbol LEEND,
Leading.
offers those incredible expedition cruises and land-based adventures you see all over Instagram.
Yep.
Think Galapagos, Antarctica, safaris, bucket list stuff.
Yeah. And they just had a record-breaking quarter.
They did.
Their Q3 revenue hit $206 million,
Wow.
a 17% jump from last year.
That's huge.
This growth seems to be driven by both higher guest counts and increased pricing. That's pretty impressive.
It really is. This tells us a couple of things.
Okay.
One, demand for these unique, immersive travel experiences is really strong, even with a premium price tag.
Right.
And two, Limblad has pricing power.
Yeah.
They're not just filling ships. They're doing it while maintaining profitability.
Right.
That's key for any company, but especially in the luxury travel market.
And it's not just a one-quarter wonder. Limblad is predicting continued growth for the rest of 2024.
Uh-huh.
Plus, bookings for 2025 and beyond
Wow.
are up significantly, 26% year over year for the Limblad segment and 20% for land experiences.
That's amazing.
They're putting their money where their mouth is, too.
Yeah.
With 2 new ships set to sail on the Galapagos Islands in early 2025. They're betting big on the future of expedition travel.
Absolutely.
This aggressive growth strategy is a bold move, especially in a competitive landscape.
Yeah.
But if we connect this to the bigger picture,
Right.
it suggests Limblad sees a long runway for growth in this very niche market.
Yeah.
Speaking of competition, CEO Sven Lindblad did mention heavy discounting from some competitors.
You're right.
Yet Lindblad seems confident in their premium pricing strategy.
Yeah, it's a risky bet, but their strong brand and loyal customer base
Yeah.
might just be their ace in the hole. They're not trying to be everything to everyone.
Right.
They're focused on a specific type of traveler,
Right.
willing to pay for a high-quality, curated experience.
Yeah, let's talk about this Power of Three partnership with
Yeah.
National Geographic and Disney. It's getting a lot of buzz.
Yeah, it's a brilliant strategic move. National Geographic brings instant credibility and aligns perfectly with Lindblad's mission. Plus, Disney's marketing muscle and global reach are unmatched. Think about the potential for new co-branded products,
Yeah.
family-oriented adventures, and access to Disney's massive customer base.
It's not just slapping Mickey Mouse on a cruise ship.
No.
They're rolling out a new co-branded identity.
Yeah.
And Disney is spearheading a multi-million-dollar ad campaign set to launch in early 2025. They even filmed a commercial in the Galapagos Islands.
Wow.
This partnership goes beyond marketing, though. It could unlock new revenue streams and expand their customer base.
Yeah.
Disney's expertise in family travel could open up a whole new market for Limblad,
Yeah.
making those longer, more expensive itineraries more appealing to families.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Beyond the hype, there's some intriguing possibilities here. Let's shift gears for a moment.
Okay.
Talk about occupancy rates. Limblad is aiming to return to its historic occupancy levels by 2026.
Right.
And they're focusing on rebuilding their past guest base.
Smart.
This strategy is particularly savvy for a company like Limblad.
Yeah.
Repeat customers are already familiar with the brand
Yeah.
and are more likely to book those longer, pricier trips
Right.
that are essential to their profitability.
Exactly.
They're not just relying on marketing to attract new customers.
Right.
They're nurturing relationships with existing ones.
Mm-hmm.
It's a smart, sustainable approach.
Yeah.
Now, I know we've only scratched the surface
Yeah.
of the financials, but
Don't worry. We'll break down those numbers in detail in part 2.
wow.
We'll analyze their revenue streams, operating expenses,
Right.
and see if their strong performance is translating into solid profitability.
So stay tuned for part 2 of our deep dive into Limblad Expeditions Q3 2024 earnings call.
Right.
And who knows, maybe by the end we'll have an outrageous but plausible trade idea for you.
Looking forward to it. Welcome back to Talk Tickers. It's time to put on our financial analyst hats and delve deeper into the numbers from Lindblad's Q3 2024 earnings call.
Okay, so let's break it down. We know they brought in a very impressive $206 million in revenue for the quarter.
Right.
But how did their two main segments, the Limblad segment, those expedition cruises and the land experiences segment, how did those contribute to that impressive figure?
Well, the Limblad segment, their core business, pulled in $121.3 million in tour revenue, a 12% increase year over year.
Okay.
This growth was fueled by a 6% increase in available guest nights.
Yeah.
And more importantly, a 9% increase in net yield per available guest night.
So not only are they filling more cabins, but
Yeah.
they're also charging more per cabin. That focus on net yield is a really smart move in the luxury market. It shows they prioritize profitability
Exactly.
over simply filling every available space.
Now, looking at the land experiences segment, they generated $84.7 million in tour revenue, a whopping 26% increase year over year.
Wow.
This growth can be attributed to continued strong performance from their existing land-based adventures and the strategic acquisition of Wineland-Thompson Adventures, which specializes in African safaris.
And smart acquisitions play a key role in any growth strategy. It's not just about expanding organically. It's about finding the right opportunities to broaden your reach and tap into those new markets.
Absolutely. Now let's move beyond revenue and talk about profitability.
Okay.
Lindblad's adjusted EBITDA for the quarter came in at $45.8 million, a 35% jump compared to last year.
That's significant. They're not just growing. They're becoming more profitable as they scale.
Right.
Breaking it down by segment, the Limblad segment saw a 30% increase in adjusted EBITDA,
Right.
while the land experiences segment jumped an impressive 42%.
What's particularly impressive is that these gains are coming despite increased operating expenses.
Okay.
Lindblad's operating expenses before depreciation and amortization, interest, and taxes increased by 13% year over year.
So while expenses are rising,
Yeah.
they're not rising as fast as revenue and EBITDA. That's a good sign.
It is, and it's important to note that some of these increases are strategic investments in future growth. Think about their ramped up marketing spend for the National Geographic partnership. You can't grow without spending some money,
Right.
especially when you're launching major initiatives.
Right. You got to spend money to make money, as the saying goes.
Exactly.
But in an environment where many companies are struggling with rising costs, particularly fuel costs, it's reassuring to see Lindblad managing this well.
Fuel costs are a major factor for any travel company.
Yeah.
Interestingly, fuel costs remain relatively stable for Lindblad, accounting for about 4.5% of their total revenue in Q3. This was actually slightly lower than the same period last year.
So they're navigating the fuel price fluctuations without a major hit to their bottom line.
Right.
Plus, they mentioned ongoing efforts to improve operational efficiency and reduce costs without compromising the guest experience.
That's crucial. Happy guests lead to repeat bookings, which, as we discussed, are essential for their long-term profitability.
Now let's turn our attention to their balance sheet. Cash is king, especially in a business that requires continuous investment in new ships and acquisitions. How's Lindblad's financial health looking?
Well, Limblad ended the quarter with $224.6 million in cash, a significant increase from $187.3 million at the end of last year. This cash primarily comes from operations thanks to those strong booking trends we discussed. People are putting down deposits for future trips, and that cash flow is strengthening their financial position.
So they're generating healthy cash flow from their core business.
Right.
But they're also spending money on those Galapagos ships and the acquisition of Thompson Safaris. Where does that leave them?
Well, they've spent about $34.4 million on investing activities this year. But they're doing it from a position of strength. This balance between investment and cash flow is a key indicator of a well-managed company.
It sounds like they have the financial flexibility to be opportunistic and seize the right opportunities for growth.
Now, before we wrap up this deep dive into their financials, let's take a quick look at their full year 2024 guidance. What are their expectations for the rest of the year?
Are they as optimistic about the future as their Q3 performance suggests?
They are. Lindblad projects tour revenue between $610 million and $630 million for the full year. Which would represent significant growth compared to 2023.
So no signs of a slowdown.
Right.
They're predicting continued strength.
And in terms of profitability, they're expecting adjusted EBITDA between $88 million and $98 million for the full year.
So healthy margins and continued profitability growth. That's what investors want to hear.
And keep in mind, this guidance doesn't fully factor in the potential impact of their partnership with National Geographic and Disney, which should ramp up in 2025.
So it seems like their future is even brighter than these projections suggest.
Lindblad is firing on all cylinders, operationally and financially. They're well-positioned to capitalize on the growing demand for experiential travel.
Right.
And as we head into part 3, it will be interesting to see how they leverage their brand and partnerships to further solidify their position in this really exciting market.
Let's set sail for the final leg of our deep dive. Welcome back to Talk Tickers. We've crunched the numbers, analyzed the financials, and now it's time to explore the heart of Lindblad's business, those unique, immersive travel experiences.
Yeah, this is where things get really interesting. You know, we can move beyond the spreadsheets and balance sheets and really talk about what makes Lindblad special.
They're not just selling cruises or tours, they're curating adventures.
Yeah.
They're attracting a specific type of traveler who's seeking something more than just a typical vacation.
Exactly. These are travelers who are curious, adventurous, and discerning.
Yeah.
They want to go deeper, learn more, connect with the world in a meaningful way.
Right.
And they're willing to pay a premium for that.
And that's where their partnership with National Geographic becomes so powerful. It adds that layer of credibility and authenticity that really resonates with this type of traveler.
It's a perfect match. National Geographic's reputation for scientific exploration and storytelling aligns perfectly with Lindblad's mission of creating immersive educational travel experiences.
It's not just about seeing the sights, it's about understanding them.
Yeah.
Learning about them and appreciating the natural world and different cultures.
Absolutely.
And with the Disney partnership, they have the potential to introduce a whole new generation to this kind of travel.
Right.
Imagine families sharing these incredible experiences together, creating memories that last a lifetime.
The family travel market is huge.
Huge.
And it seems like such a natural fit for Lindblad, especially with Disney's expertise in that area. There's so many possibilities, you know, educational programs for kids, family-friendly itineraries, maybe even themed cruises.
While the themed cruises are fun to think about, what really excites me is that potential to cultivate a lifelong love of exploration and learning in those younger generations. That's a powerful legacy.
It is.
As we wrap up this deep dive into the Limblad Expeditions, what stands out to you as the most significant takeaway?
I think for me, it's the way that Lindblad is so successfully navigating this evolving landscape of luxury travel. They're not just offering a product. They're selling an experience, a story, a connection to something bigger than themselves. And they're doing it in a way that's both profitable and sustainable.
They're tapping into this growing desire for meaningful travel experiences. And they've really positioned themselves as leaders in this space.
Now, before we go, no Talk Tickers episode would be complete without our This Is Not Financial Advice segment.
Of course.
Let's have some fun and cook up an outrageous but plausible trade idea.
I'm all ears.
Okay, so let's imagine that Disney, with its unparalleled marketing power, decides to heavily promote their partnership with Lindblad during their upcoming slate of family-friendly films. They integrate subtle yet enticing messaging about National Geographic Limblad Expeditions into their movies, trailers, and theme parks.
Okay, I'm picturing like a quick glimpse of a Lindblad ship sailing through the Galapagos during a Finding Nemo sequel. Not too over the top, but enough to kind of pique the interest of all those families watching.
Exactly. It sparks curiosity and plants the seed for a family adventure. Suddenly, those Lindblad trips, once perceived as expensive and out of reach, become aspirational family goals.
So the trade idea is to buy Lindblad stock now and bet on a surge in bookings driven by this Disney-fueled marketing campaign.
Well, remember, this is purely hypothetical and not financial advice.
Of course.
There are risks. The campaign could fall flat. Competition in the travel industry is fierce. Unforeseen events could disrupt travel plans.
But if Disney goes all in on this partnership, it could significantly boost Lindblad's visibility.
Could.
And drive those booking numbers even higher.
It's a gamble. but a potentially lucrative one. Of course, always do your own research and due diligence before making any investment decisions.
Absolutely. We just provide the food for thought. And hey, who knows, maybe someday we'll be sharing a Limblad expedition.
I hope so.
Discussing market trends while watching whales breach in Antarctica.
That's the dream. Until then, happy investing.
Yes.
And we'll catch you on the next Talk Tickers Deep Dive.